Your brain does something strange whenever you try to change your life. The moment you decide to grow, improve, or step into something new. Fear appears, doubt, resistance, and you start wondering, why does change feel so hard even when I want it? We've all lived this. You plan to leave your comfort zone, but suddenly your mind pulls you back to what's familiar. Old habits, old patterns, old versions of yourself. It feels almost as if something inside you prefers staying stuck over moving forward. But what if your brain isn't sabotaging you? What if it's doing exactly what it was designed to do? Why does your mind associate growth with danger? Why does safety feel more important than happiness? And why do so many people confuse fear with failure? Stay with me until the end, because today you will discover a truth that changes everything. Your brain doesn't resist growth because you weak, it resists growth because it's trying to protect you. And once you understand how this mechanism works, you'll learn how to create change without fighting yourself. My name is Lindsay, and I'm the narrator here on Echoes of Light, a channel where science meets practical spirituality to help you reprogram your subconscious and transform the way you experience life. And today, you're about to see your fear and your brain in a completely new way. Why does your mind resist change even when you know it's good for you? Think about a simple situation. You decide to change a habit, start a new chapter, or leave something that no longer fits your life. At first, there's excitement. But soon after, something shifts, anxiety appears. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts start saying, maybe later, this isn't the right time, or what if it goes wrong? And before you realize it, you're back where you started. We all know this feeling. That is why people say things like, better the devil you know than the one you don't, or don't rock the boat. These phrases didn't appear by accident. They reflect a deep truth about the human mind. Familiarity feels safe even when it hurts. Ancient philosophy understood this long before modern science. In Buddhism, suffering is said to arise from attachment, not only attachment to pleasure, but attachment to the known. The mind clings to what is familiar because it believes familiarity equals survival. Letting go feels like danger, even if what we're holding on to is causing pain. The Stoics observed something similar. They taught that the mind seeks control, and control comes from predictability. When life follows known patterns, the mind relaxes. When something new appears, the mind tightens. Not because the new is bad, but because it cannot be predicted. And what cannot be predicted feels unsafe. Even in Hindu philosophy, the idea of ahankara, the sense of I, explains this resistance. The ego is built from stories about who we are. Change threatens those stories. If you change, who are you then? The mind protects identity the same way it protects the body. This is why growth feels uncomfortable. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack willpower, but because at a deep level, your mind is asking one question, is this safe? And until it feels safe, it will pull you back to what it knows. Understanding this changes everything. Because once you see that resistance is not an enemy, but a protective reflex, you can stop fighting yourself and start listening. Why does your brain react to change as if something bad is about to happen, even when your life is objectively safe? From a scientific point of view, the answer lies in how the brain evolved. Your brain is not a tool for happiness or fulfillment. It is, above all, a survival machine. For thousands of years, its main job was simple: keep you alive long enough to reproduce. Comfort, purpose, and growth came much later. Deep inside your brain, there is a constant background scan asking one silent question: am I safe? And it asks this question not once a day, but thousands of times. The problem is that the brain doesn't define safety the way you do. To the brain, safety means familiarity. What is known has been survived before. What is unknown has not. And throughout most of human history, the unknown often meant danger. So when you try to change, start a new habit, leave a toxic environment, express yourself more honestly, or step into a new version of who you are, your brain notices something immediately. This is unfamiliar. There is no stored map for it. No guarantee. That's when the amygdala activates. The amygdala is the brain's alarm system. It doesn't analyze your dreams or your intentions. It doesn't care that the change is good for you. It only reacts to potential risk. And to it, unpredictability is risk. This is why change doesn't feel exciting at first. It feels tense, your body tightens. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your thoughts shrink into worst-case scenarios. Suddenly, staying the same, even if it makes you unhappy, feels safer than moving forward. At the same time, your brain works as a prediction engine. Every moment, it tries to guess what will happen next based on past experiences. Old habits are easy to predict, so they require very little energy. New paths break those predictions. And when predictions fail, the brain interprets it as loss of control. Loss of control triggers stress. Under stress, something crucial happens. The brain becomes rigid. Creativity drops. Curiosity disappears. Instead of exploring, the mind defends. It is like trying to learn how to swim while clinging tightly to the edge of the pool. The tighter you hold, the harder it is to move. This is why forcing change through pressure, discipline alone, or self-criticism often backfires. You may think you're pushing yourself forward, but neurologically, you're telling your brain that it's under threat. And a threatened brain does not grow, it protects. Here is the key insight neuroscience gives us. The brain only becomes flexible when it feels safe. Safety is not weakness. Safety is the biological doorway to neuroplasticity. When the nervous system relaxes, new neural pathways can form, learning deepens, identity becomes fluid again. That means real change doesn't begin with force, it begins with safety. And in the final part of this video, I will guide you through a simple practice that signals safety to your brain, a way to gently lower its defenses so growth can happen naturally, without fear, without self-violence, and without fighting who you are. Let's bring everything together. Your brain is not broken. It's not lazy, and it's not working against you. Philosophy showed us that the mind clings to what is familiar because familiarity feels like survival. Buddhism called it attachment. Stoicism called it the need for control. Ancient wisdom understood that the mind fears the unknown long before science could measure it. Science then confirmed the same truth. Your brain evolved to keep you safe, not to help you grow. The amygdala scans for danger. The predictive brain prefers what it already knows. Under stress, flexibility disappears. Growth shuts down. Protection takes over, so if change has felt hard, now you know why. Not because you failed, but because your brain was trying to protect you. Now imagine this. Imagine waking up tomorrow and noticing that change no longer feels like a threat. Imagine your body staying calm when you think about doing something new. Imagine your mind becoming curious instead of tense. This is what happens when growth stops feeling dangerous and starts feeling safe. And this is where practice begins. Here's a simple exercise you can use anytime you want to change something in your life. First, pause for a moment. Take a slow breath in through your nose, and a long breath out through your mouth. Do that twice. Let your body soften. Now, instead of telling yourself what you must change, tell your brain this. I am safe right now. Say it slowly. I am safe right now. Then add one gentle sentence about growth. Something small, something non-threatening. It's safe for me to take one small step. It's safe for me to explore something new. That's it. This works because safety comes before change. When your nervous system relaxes, your brain opens. Neuroplasticity increases. The mind stops defending and starts learning. Growth no longer feels like danger, it feels like possibility. So tonight, or tomorrow, or the next time fear appears, remember this. You don't need to fight your brain. You need to reassure it. If this video helped you understand yourself more deeply, share your experience in the comments. And if you want to keep exploring how science and spirituality meet inside the subconscious mind, make sure to subscribe. Here, we don't force transformation, we create the safety that allows it to unfold.